welcome to today's FB Live. Today's topic that we are going to cover is, are you afraid to start exercising? If you're someone who wants to start exercising but have lots of different questions on which exercises to do, will if I start exercising, will I injure myself? What if I get into a lot of pain? I'm going to cover all of those questions in today's FB Live, and I'm going to help you get started with exercising. All right, so welcome to today's FB Live. I am Ruma. I am a certified fitness trainer. I'm a certified fitness nutritionist, and I am a women's fitness specialist from International Sports and Sciences Academy USA and National Academy of Sports Medicines USA. I'm the founder of Navitai, and very recently I was awarded the Times She Unlimited Rising Star Award by the Times of India Group. Now, I welcome you to today's FB Live. If you can see me, hear me, can you please type and see you, hear you in the comment box, please? So I know that I can carry on and you can hear me. Can you hear me, Basu? Basu, can you hear me? Just confirm for me so I can continue, please. All right, thank you so much for confirming, Mohit, and then I will get started. So we already have people joining in. Thank you so much for joining on time. Now, some of the common questions people have when they start exercising is, I've never exercised before, or I have taken a gap from exercising. What do I do? What should I start with? And if I start with exercising, will I hurt myself? What if I injure myself? You have questions about posture. You have questions about getting injured. You have questions about how many reps, how many sets, and lots of different questions, right? And the moment we step inside the internet, it makes it even more confusing for us. There is an overload of information. We are overwhelmed and we do not know where to get started. So I'm going to break it out for you today, make it very, very simple to get started. All right. So if you're excited to know about, learn about all of these topics, type in and excited in the comment box, please. Excited in the comment box. This keeps the energy high, and this also helps us have an environment of great learnability. All right, so type in excited in the comment box, and I'll make you do some exercises with me today as well. Okay, all right. So if you are a beginner, all right, and just to set the expectations right, the technology that FB Live uses, there is a lot of lag and delay in when I speak and when you can hear me, and when you type in a comment and when I can see that. So there is a considerable lag on both the sides. So what I recommend you do is, I love to take questions. I love to keep the session interactive. What I would recommend you do is, please put in your questions in the comment box, and I will take all your questions at the end. And the reason why I'm asking you to put all the questions in now is because I do not want to miss your questions in case I close the FB Live and then the comments start coming in because of the lag. All right. So if, all right, Basu, you are excited. Thank you. Divya excited. Mohit excited. All of you are excited. And I am excited too, along with you. All right. So keep putting in your questions. And I know it can be difficult because if I'm making you do the exercises and you have to type in also, I know it's difficult, but whatever you can do, please do for me so that I can answer all your questions. Okay. All right. So getting started now. And for people who are joining in now, who am I? I am Ruma. I'm a fitness coach and the founder of Navitai. Today we are going to talk about how to start exercising if you've taken a break, or you've never exercised before and you have lots of questions. Okay. All right. So when we have taken a break or we have never exercised before, the best way to get started is just with walking. Okay, walking is a very safe exercise. Walking is also an exercise with which it's quite a good exercise when you are beginning. So start with 30 minutes of slow walking. If you've never walked before, or if you are overweight, start with 30 minutes of walking, slow walking. Start, and after a few weeks, after 1 week, after you've consistently done it for 7 days, after a week, you slowly increase the speed. So now you move from slow walking to medium paced walking to a point, and on the 3rd week you make it pretty fast, where you're walking so fast that you are able to you're able to talk but not sing. You're really huffing and puffing while talking as well. So it's not a leisurely walk anymore. You are really pushing yourself to walk. All right, so walking is a very good cardiovascular exercise, and for beginning, that is the best way to start. Now, when you start walking, some of the things that, and you've never walked before and you just started walking, some of the things that you can expect is that there will be a lot of leg pain, and that is to be expected. The reason why that happens is, and there is nothing to worry about that is a good pain. It is because your muscles are getting adapted to your activity, and hence there is pain, and hence there is soreness. When you get sore, the first thing people do is they stop exercising. Oh my God, I'm in so much of pain. Like just recently it happened to my son. He's going to college, and I enrolled him under another trainer because I couldn't train him any further. He wouldn't listen to me. The first day he trained, he had lots of pain, and next morning he's saying, Mama, I'm not going to my training session. So, but I know that if he stops that, then he will again get back into being, being the same as he was before. So our body is getting accustomed to this level of activity, and hence we have to continue even if there is pain. Okay, and I'll tell you some more things. When you start moderate kind of exercises, when you start getting sore, what you should do, I'll tell you that also. But for now, just remember the fact that you start with walking. Now, walking is going to be good for at least about a month to 6 weeks. All right, you can continue to walk. Beyond 6 weeks, walking is not going to give you much benefit beyond just getting your 10,000 steps every day. So now you have to increase to the next level. And when you increase to the next level, some of the one of the good additions would be to include strength training. Now, walking is a cardiovascular exercise, yes, and there are 5 pillars of physical fitness. One is cardiovascular fitness, one is strength. Third is flexibility, then posture and balance. These are the 5 pillars of physical fitness. If you want to be physically fit, overall, all round physically fit, then all of these 5 elements of physical fitness should be in your exercise regime. All right. So once you've done with cardiovascular fitness, the next thing that you can include is, wow, it's raining outside. The next thing that you should start with is strength training. And what I also recommend you do after, because today's session is just for beginners, what I also want you to do is get the foundations of the different kinds of exercises. And I have covered this in great detail in one of the prior FB Live videos. Give me a second. There is a lot of my, there is rain and there is storm, and the curtains are coming over the camera. So let me close the windows a little bit. Sorry about that. All right, thank you for your patience. It's lovely and beautiful outside in Bangalore right now. Okay, so my recommendation is please do go through that video where I have explained in great detail about the cardiovascular fitness, about flexibility training, as well as strength training. Now, coming back to today's topic again, once you've completed 6 weeks of walking, what you need to start doing is include some strength training exercises. Now, when you start strength training, a lot of questions come to people's mind, and that is what gets people very scared. If you're a woman, you'll be scared that I'll become a Salman Khan if I start exercising, start lifting dumbbells. Now, to clarify that, women, Ladies, you will not become Salman Khan. It is difficult for men also to become like Salman Khan by doing strength training. It is even more difficult for women. So keep that out of the mind. The another misconception people have is if I have to do strength training, I have to go to the gym. Well, let me clarify that for you as well. If you want to do strength training, you do not need to go to the gym. You can, it is an option, but you really do not need to go to the gym. Our body, strength training is for building muscles. Muscles will help give proper support to our skeletal system. So strength training is very important. And how do we build strength? There are multiple ways. Going to gym, lifting dumbbells is one of the ways. But another thing to consider is Indians on the average, we have about 60 kgs of body weight. Average Indian weighs about 60 kg, all right, on the average. So our body is a dumbbell in itself. We can use our body very intelligently to exercise anytime, anywhere, at home, in the park, while you're traveling. So you really do not have to be dependent on gym. You can start at home in the privacy and safety of your home. If you don't want to use the equipments used by someone else, you want to be home safe during COVID times, you can do that by being at home and using your body as a dumbbell. All right. So you can do at home. That I've clarified that. What are the other concern that people have is what is the right posture? Okay. What if I get my posture wrong? Now, one thing is if you are exercising with body weight, do not worry much about posture because you can hardly go wrong. You will not injure yourself because the way body weight works is your center of gravity will be it's static in its place. But if you are going to lift a heavy dumbbell overhead, your center of gravity moves. Sometimes it moves outside of your body and it can render you unstable, thus increasing the risk of your injury. So if you're starting with body weight exercises and at home, you really do not have to worry much about posture. The only thing though you have to worry about is if you're not doing it right, then you may not get the right benefit. But you will never, with body weight exercises, you will never ever injure yourself, okay? But there is a risk of injury if you're going to use dumbbells. Now, with that, I'm going to show you some exercises that you can start with if you've never ever exercised before. All right? So, one of the best things to use is a rubber tube. Okay? And these are resistance tubes. These are very cheap. They are about, say, 600, 700 rupees, and you can get them at the Amazon as well. And this is something that is a very good way to start strengthening your muscles. Okay, so the way that you use that, and I'm going to show you 2 or 3 very simple exercises that you can start doing at home from today. You don't have to worry about any further equipment. Okay, so what you do is the first exercise that I'm going to show you is hold the rubber tube like this. Yeah. And these are called bank pulls. Okay, this will help your upper body. It will help your arm strength as well as it will help your chest strength. So this is very good for your upper body strength. Okay, do these about 20 times. Keep your back straight. You can do this sitting or standing, doesn't matter. Keep your back straight and do these about 10 to 20 times, how much ever time you feel comfortable. Okay, so these are called band pulls. The another one very good for your shoulders and your deltoids are overhead band pulls. Okay, and you can do these about 10 to 20 times. Keep your back straight always. Put your touch your shoulder blades behind, and always remember to pull your stomach in. All right, when you pull your stomach in, it gives an additional support to your spine. And that gives you a very good core stability while doing your exercises. All right, so whenever you do any exercise, even when you're walking, try to keep your chest out, touch your shoulder blades behind and pull your stomach in. The way you pull your stomach in, the right way of doing that is by pulling it from down to up. All right, down to up. Okay, so that should be your posture when you're doing any exercise. Unless something else, when you're doing a trunk flexion, unless something else has been specified. For most of the exercises, you can follow this posture. All right, is that clear? Write clear in the comment box, please. Yes, Basu, I will definitely answer that question. That's a wonderful question. What time of the day can we do exercises? I'll cover that. All right, so overhead band pull. This is number 2, and this video will be available, so you can refer to it later on also. Now for lower body strength, I'm going to show you one exercise. It's extremely good, especially for people working in the IT field or people who work sitting on their computer. Can you see me? Yes, okay. So you lie down, supine, face up, hands by your side, knees folded, and keep feet on the floor, and then slowly raise your hips up and slowly bring them down. Take them up. This is also a yoga pose and an excellent exercise for your lower body strength as well as for the flexibility of your hip flexors. Okay, so you take them down. Take it up and take it down. Do it very slowly. Whenever you're doing strength exercises, remember that you should never do it very fast. It's not a cardiovascular exercise. What you're really trying to do is give resistance to your muscle while doing a movement. Okay, that is what your aim is. So don't try to do it very fast, hurriedly. Dung, 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 dung. Don't do that, all right? That is not going to help you. It will become a cardiovascular exercise. If you want strength, then do it slowly at a steady pace. Okay, so that is exercise number 3. And exercise number 4. So the exercise number 3 that is showed you the glute bridge or Setu Bandhanasana in yoga is great for building hip strength as well as great for building hamstring strength. Okay. It also works for the flexibility of your hip flexor, this joint, because what happens is when you're sitting and working for long duration of time, this hip flexors become very tight. Okay, this angle is shortened, right? So it becomes very tight and you have to extend them. So that's the one. And the next one, it's a very, very easy exercise, all right? It's called squats. Many people get worried with the posture of squat. I'm going to show you a very easy version of squat. And you should be able to start doing it from today. My father is 84 years old and he does this exercise. And you will see that, and what the benefit I've noticed in him after he started doing squats is his steps he has become very confident with his steps. As we age and as we grow older, what you will notice is that, you know, our leg strength, overall, we lose muscles. There is a muscular atrophy. And one of the biggest lifestyle, what do you call it? Not lifestyle, but one of the biggest problems that elderly folks face is they are not able to walk with stability. They need to take support while they are walking. Leg muscles are anti-gravity muscles. And if you keep them strong, then for as long as you live, you will be able to walk with a lot of confidence. Okay, my father is a COVID survivor. My father is 84 years old and he started doing this exercise, and you will see that his steps have become much more confident and he doesn't need support as much. He still needs a little bit, but not as much. So this is an excellent exercise. You should start with it. I'll show you. What you need to do is, can you see me? I think it's beginning to get very dark. Yes. Okay. So the exercise that you need to do, this is squats. All right. Take a chair. The chair should be about knee height. And what you do is you just sit and stand. Sit. This could also be your bed for all you know. This could be your bed. All right. And just make sure that it's not a very soft mattress. And that's it. Okay. Do this about 12 times. And that should take care of your upper body and lower body strength exercises. Now, the very important thing is, before you go into the modalities of exercising, what the problem that most people face is setting up a regular routine for exercising. We start with full josh the first day. We start 1 hour of exercise, 2 hours, 1.5 hours of exercise. We are full josh, but then very soon the josh goes away. what we really need to do is build a sustainable exercising habit. So that is the number one thing we have to focus on. And hence I said, you start with walking, build that into a regular habit. Start with trying to make 30 minutes for yourself every day. In a week, how many hours do we have? Just give me a calculation, 24 into 7. How much would that be? How many hours do we have in a week? Get it in the comment box, please. How many hours do we have in a week? We have 168 hours in a week, 24 into 7. And all we are saying is try to take 3 hours per week for exercising. Is that doable or not? Is that doable or not? Heck, it is doable, whether you say yes or no. I am not going to take no for an answer. 30 minutes per day, 6 days a week with 1 day of break is completely doable. If you are not able to do it, just try and understand what kind of priorities you have to deprioritize and make this a priority. Because we can be left with all the wealth in the world, everything in the world, but if we do not have health, we are not going to enjoy anything in life. So 30 minutes is not a big deal. You can make 30 minutes for yourself. Okay, so just start telling yourself that 30 minutes per day is not a big deal. You can make the time if you're organized and if you can organize your priorities well. All right, so that's number one. Start with a plan. Start with making time for yourself. And then when you get into strength training, same thing. You do 3 days of strength training. These 4 exercises that I've showed to you, you start with that. And do 3 days of those, and another 3 days of you continue with the walking. Okay, all right. So we have covered that. Now, one of the questions I got was, can we exercise any time of the day? Basu, yes, of course you can exercise any time of the day that works for you. But don't get stuck up with time. The first priority for us should be to get the exercises in, no matter what. Sometimes what also happens is, many times people also have this query, Ruma, I cannot take out 30 minutes at a stretch. Then I say, then take out 10 minutes 3 times a day. All right. Sometimes what happens is my day starts 5 o'clock in the morning until 10 in the night. I have calls, I have talk sessions, I have webinars. And by the time I realize that, I have spent 5 o'clock in the morning till 10 o'clock in the night, and it has been completely packed. And what I do in those days is I just break up my exercises. I will not be able to take out, I exercise 1 hour per day, okay? And I take one day of break from exercising. Now, when if I cannot take out 1 hour, if it is difficult for me, I break up my exercises into bite sizes. So I'll do, if I can take out some 15 minutes in the morning, I'll do some 15 minutes in the morning. And in between, whenever I keep finding time, I keep doing my exercises. I don't make it a norm, because to get the best benefit of exercising, it's best to do it all together. All right. But here the thing is that most people are struggling to make time. When you're struggling to make time, instead of making it 0, not do anything, try to fit it into smaller sizes. Okay, so make it bite sizes, number one. Second is, you can do any time of the day. Just remember one thing, that do not exercise right after a meal. After a meal, you give about 1 to 1.5 hours of break before you start to exercise. For example, if you've had lunch at 1 o'clock, do not exercise till 2:30. Okay, give yourself break till then, because your body is busy digesting the food. All your energy has gone towards digestion. And now if you start exercising, the body will have to repurpose some of the energy towards your exercises, and your digestion will suffer. Okay, so don't do that. Don't get into the way of the normal processes of the body. But other than that, you don't have to follow anything. And another thing that people say is, do not exercise right before bedtime, because that can mess up your sleep schedule. Just try it. It never messes up my sleep schedule. In fact, I sleep well if I exercise before going to bed. But in many people, it has shown, they complain that they cannot get good sleep because, there is a lot of blood flow in the body. So try and see what works for you, Basu, and you can take a call. All right. Another question I get from people is that, Ruma, can I, what can I eat before exercising? One thing, one of the things that, don't exercise in full stomach. But if you're someone whose sugar levels go very low when exercising, then you can start with half an apple, a small banana, few nuts, so that that sugar level will help you go through the exercise without feeling dizzy. Many people feel that, but I don't have a problem with that, because my sugar levels are usually pretty high because of family history of diabetes. I don't have it, but there is a tendency. Okay, so I don't feel that problem, but many people have that problem. So do not exercise if you have a problem with low sugar levels. Then have something before you exercise. Okay, drink 500 ml of water for every 1 hour of exercising. Water is needed when you exercise. Okay, all right. So a few questions which are commonly asked questions. Now next, when you do strength training, what happens is, by the way, people who have joined in now, quickly, I'm Ruma, I'm your host for today. I'm a fitness coach and I'm the founder of Navitai. Today we are talking about how to, if you're afraid of exercising, you've never exercised before, then how to get started on that rhythm. Okay, all right. So next one that I'm going to cover for you, once you've done strength training, what happens is, the way strength training works, strength training is actually building muscles. And how does it build muscles? It builds muscles by flexion. All right, so contraction. Now, when you contract muscles for a long time, your muscles become tight. Okay, and that is how it has to happen. That is a natural process. So there's nothing wrong with that. Okay, so muscles start becoming tight. Now, if muscles start becoming tight, what may end up happening if you don't take care? What may end up happening if your body becomes tight, you can risk yourself to injury. You suddenly make a turn and you have to pick something from behind, or while walking, you have to bend down and tie your shoelaces on the way. Suddenly, any sudden movement can risk you towards injury. And hence, what is the solution? Any question? Any thoughts? What's the solution? So people who are strength training, your muscles are getting tight, your body is getting tight, what would you do? If you attended my FB live sessions before, you should know the answer to this. Hello, come on. People, wake up. Hydration, yes, of course. What else? There's a quiz for you to wake you up in the middle of a session. Stretches. You have to stretch yourself. All right, why? Because your muscles have shortened. You don't want to get tight and risk yourself to injury, so you stretch. I'm going to show you a few stretches as well, upper body and lower body stretches, okay? So that you do not get tight from strength training. Now, the other thing also is, when you start strength training, what is going to happen with these exercises, not so much, there will still be a little bit of soreness. You will get into soreness. The first time you do this exercise, sitting and standing, your legs are going to hurt like crazy. But please do not give up. I'm going to show you some stretches that will help you relieve the pain. It will not take it away completely, because why you're sore is because there are minute tears in your muscles and your muscles are growing. So soreness, something that we call as DOMS, delayed onset muscle soreness, which typically happens after between 12 and 24 hours. You will not feel that immediately. It is because your muscles, there are muscular tears and your muscle is building. The science behind that is your muscles are building. There is tear, muscles are repairing. All right, so it's not that if you've not gotten sore, you've not gotten a great exercise. That is not the correlation. But if you're sore, it is because your muscles are trying to repair during this time. Okay, all right, so soreness is not bad. Don't be afraid. Be strong, men and women. All right. So the first stretch that I'm going to show to you is shoulder stretch. Okay, do this along with me. You can do this sitting or standing. So your hands are here, your elbows are straight, and you will feel a nice stretch here on your shoulders. Okay. 10 counts, keep breathing normally. Don't hold your breath. Yes, the next one that you're going to do is this. We'll be done soon. I think we are at time. Yeah, all right. The next one is this. This will stretch your biceps. Ten counts, 10 counts, all right? And keep breathing normally. And then you can do the other way also, especially for people who have tennis elbow. If you're a beginner, you will not have that. But if anybody has gotten into a tennis elbow while picking something up very heavy, then this exercise will help. Okay, so you turn this down. Okay, this is a pronate position of your hand. This is supine, this is pronate. So, okay, so that is one. Another stretch that is very helpful is let me face towards you, is the stretch of your hamstrings. Okay, put this feet inside and hold the toe. Hold this for 10 counts. And then try this on the other side as well. Especially if you're doing squats and the other exercise that I showed to you, hamstring stretch is very, very needed. Otherwise, your hamstrings will become tight. And now I'm going to show you a quadricep stretch. You did the sit and stand with the on the sofa, right? And that is going to tense your quadriceps, and I'm going to show you how you can relax it. So the next thing that you will do is and if you cannot hold your balance, then you can also hold something and do this. All right, you'll feel a nice stretch in your quadriceps here. I don't think you can see me. And then try it on the other side also. Okay? Bring this as behind as you as possible. And then hold it for 10 counts and relax. I hope you were able to see me. I had to go a little behind so that the camera could catch me. Okay, so to summarize, if you've never exercised before, start with walking for after 6 weeks, and then slowly increase the pace of your walking over 6 weeks. Try to build a consistent schedule. That is very, very important. Before you even think about exercising, consistency is more important than the kind of exercises that you're doing. All right, consistency is the key, is the topmost priority. And we work with people across the world, and the major problem that we find is people unable to take time out in their day. Okay, so that is the biggest problem that we find. It's not the knowledge, it's not the information, it's inability to find time, inability to prioritize and plan their day in such a way that they can get 30 minutes out of their time. That is the biggest problem that we are facing. All right, so make that consistency is the priority. Then you move on to strengthening exercises, and I've showed you a few strengthening exercises. You can start doing that. You will feel a little bit of pain, soreness, but please do not give up. Whenever you are feeling sore, you do the stretches that I showed to you, and the soreness, you will get some relief from the soreness. And drink plenty of water. All right, water will help overcome soreness. Another thing that will help you overcoming soreness, if you have pain, if it's painful, go for walks. Let the blood flow well in your body. That also helps with soreness. So do not stop. If you're sore, it means that you have more need to walk then. Okay, so compensate by walking, and you will see that you're getting relief from soreness. The another thing is you can exercise anytime during the day. Just do not exercise right after your meal. Give at least 1.5 hours after your meal time before you exercise. And if you are someone who doesn't need to eat anything before exercising, then that's fine. But if you are someone who cannot, then start with a little bit of half an apple, half a banana, and few nuts. That will give you the energy for exercising. Okay, and after exercising, you can finish right after you're exercising, you can have your breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That will become a very good post-workout meal. Okay, and anything else? I'm just thinking if I'm all right. Yes, the another thing is, before you start strength training, you must definitely warm up. You should ensure that there is good blood flow in your body before you start strength training. If isn't enough blood flow in the body, then what happens is, your muscles do not have blood, and muscles, if they do not have enough blood flow, then there is lack of oxygen, and you can again get into injuring yourself. Muscles will be tight. So a good warm-up sequence will ensure that your muscles are soft and supple with lot of blood flow, and your exercises will give you the maximum benefit. Warm-up can be walking, jogging, spot jogging. You can a little bit of skipping. And if you're someone who's not comfortable skipping or jogging, then just walking around at a moderate pace will also be considered as a good warm-up. Thank you so much for joining in, and I hope you start exercising. And if you have any queries on this video, please do share it with me, either here, or you know how to reach me. You can message us or on Facebook, or you can add your comments in this video itself. All right, and I'll be happy to share the answers with you. All right, thank you so much for joining in. Have a lovely weekend. Till next time, bye bye. Thank you.